Welcome to this GamblingSites.org how-to video. Today we'll be providing you with our intermediate level guide for an introduction to card counting. If you're new to this concept, this is the best place to start. We have some broad overview information here like how and why it works, as well as the legality of it. First of all, counting cards is perfectly legal. As long as you don't use your phone or some other counting device and don't physically change the conditions of the game by marking cards or bribing the dealer, you are just thinking about the game when you're playing. That's fine. Casinos do obviously frown upon the practice, however. As a result, most casinos try to reserve the right to bar players from playing blackjack games if they suspect them of counting cards. Some players even get banned from a casino for life. But no one gets arrested for counting cards. So how and why does counting cards help give players an edge? Imagine you're playing roulette for a moment, the American wheel with 2 green spaces. There are 38 possible outcomes for each spin. But what if every time a number got hit, it was no longer available? And what if the payout odds did not shift? Well, now you'd have a 1 in 37 chance of correctly predicting the space the ball would land on, then a 1 in 36 chance, then a 1 in 35 chance, and the probability that you would pick the correct spot would keep getting better and better, and the payout would stay the same the whole time. That is, until they finally decided to reopen the unavailable slots. When you're talking about blackjack, that's essentially what happens. Say you're playing a single deck blackjack game, and all 4 aces are dealt in the very first round. Assuming the cards aren't immediately reshuffled, what would the odds be of getting a blackjack in the second round? Well, since you need a 10 or a face card and an ace to get a natural, and you just saw all 4 aces disappear on the first hand, there was literally no chance of getting a blackjack with the cards that remain. This would increase the house's edge against you because a natural blackjack pays off at 3-2. That might be an incredibly rare situation, but it's a good demonstration as to why the composition of the deck impacts a player's advantage or disadvantage against the house. A deck with a lot of high cards and aces in it is way better for the player than a deck with mostly low cards. What card counters do is track the ratio of high cards to low cards remaining in the deck so they can raise their bets when they have an edge and lower their bets when they don't. Knowing which side has the edge is done by assigning a value to the high cards and to the low cards and keeping a running count as they're distributed. Generally, card counting systems assign a positive value of +1 or +2 to the lower valued cards in the deck and a negative value of -1, -2 to the 10s and aces. So the count goes up as the low value cards disappear, and it goes down as the high value cards disappear. Systems can be balanced or unbalanced, and single level or multi-level. Beginners are probably best served with a balanced single level approach at first. Balanced systems have an equal number of positive values as negative, while unbalanced may have more cards with a positive value or more with a negative value assigned to them than the other side. Single-level systems mean that you move the count up or down by 1 unit for each card, while multi-level systems may assign different values for different cards, like making aces worth -2 and 10s worth -1. It's essentially a weighted system. The easiest card counting system that we're familiar with is called the Ace-5 count. In this system, you only count the 5s and the aces, as the name suggests. Every time an ace comes up, you subtract 1 from your count. Every time you see a 5, add 1 to the count. If the count is negative, you'll bet low. If the count is positive, you raise your bet. Since there are 4 aces and 4 5s in every deck, the system is balanced. The reason to use the 5, by the way, is because the 5 is the most disadvantageous to the player in the deck. Think about just how many bad hands include a 5 compared to the good ones. Dealt a 5 and a 10, hard 15. 16 cards worth 10 in the deck. Even an ace and a 5 is a soft 16, so that's not even good. This should go without saying, but it's definitely worth saying anyway. The trick when using this count or any count is to do so without letting the casino know that you're counting cards. Don't move your lips while counting, don't look like you're concentrating on your count, and you probably shouldn't stay in any one casino for more than an hour at a time. Learning how to count cards without looking like you're doing it is the biggest trick. You can't exactly do that in a casino environment. So get a deck of cards and count through it 1 card at a time at your kitchen table. Since the Ace-5 count system is a balanced system, You should have a total of 0 when you've reached the end. Once you can do that quickly, learn to keep count while dealing the cards 2 at a time. Then turn on the TV and make things as noisy and distracting as possible while you practice. That's how you can simulate the kind of environment that a casino provides, and the kind of environment that you need to be comfortable counting cards in. When you're ready, that's when you can give it a shot for real. When you've mastered that system, there are a number of more advanced systems available. The high-low system is one that our writers recommend. You can find detailed instructions for that system and plenty of other options on our website. We have plenty of additional videos and articles for you to make sure that you are the best blackjack player that you can be, including more within the intermediate blackjack section. So make sure to check out gamblingsites.org for even more on the game.